All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another GeoGuessr video, another play and explain video. Today, we're on less extreme region guessing, working on our big country region guessing, which I myself am not particularly good at, but I'll try my best to explain why I'm guessing in these places, and hopefully I don't fumble the bag too much. We'll see, but it's basically GeoGuessr's 31 biggest region guessable countries in this Finbar map here, and country distribution-wise, we do have USA making up a whopping 10%. And then obviously the bigger countries are being weighted a bit more highly in this map. And for this in particular, I think learning region guessing, especially within bigger countries, is very important because understanding where and where you shouldn't guess is definitely very valuable to increasing your rating overall in duels. You can go from a 1300 player to a 1700 player by just understanding what makes sense, what's flat, what's not. Because clicking on top of a mountain when it can never be there, it's obviously not good. So let's hop into it here, and let's start off in no move, and I'll see you guys with the link and all of that. Let's do it. All right, grabbing the link here. Here we go. Let's hop into it. And we start off in Colombia, I would probably think. We can see backlight here and the front of the car, which looks black, which is pretty common in Colombia, I'd say. You either get like this black car or the white car, usually in Colombia. And another good hint for Colombia is these tips for where it's like painted at the top, which is quite common there. And I think with this rolling hills landscape, kind of like similar to a Brazilian landscape and like, I don't know, like Rio or Minas, but like less hilly. I think you kind of have to send around this area in Colombia, Sincelejo or Monteria. You can kind of see on the map, it's a little bit hilly, although it's very hard to tell. Like you can see some hills here and stuff, but it's very hard to tell, like on the current iteration of the map, that there's mountains or there's hills here, because it's so slight. They're such slight hills. But yeah, I think this really does make sense. And I think when I see a landscape like this, I usually just lean towards this Sincelejo area. So we're gonna give it a go. If it's not correct, it's not correct. But I think this makes the most sense with what we've got. So let's do it. And there are some hills around here as well. I mean, this is the other option, I'd say. Usually if I'm playing 2v2s, we'll hedge one there, one here, because there are a lot of hills as well around Puerto Berrio and stuff, but I don't know how to differentiate the two really. So I think first priority should be guessing here, second priority is probably guessing here. There's probably a bit more Gen 2 around this Sincelejo stuff, or sorry, not Gen 2, Gen 3 near the Sincelejo stuff, just because they had so much stuff covered here, whereas this probably is mostly going to be Gen 4 because there's so little roads that it could possibly be. You can see only a little bit of white roads around this little flat area here, near Puerto Berrio, so a little tough that ended up being there, but I'm not really sure how to differentiate the two. All right, we do end up in India here. First tip in India is always to look at language. We do have Hindi here. And if you guys look at Hindi, you always see this like bar at the top, forming letters at the bottom. So that's a good indicator. In Hindi, kind of looks similar to Bengali in a way, but a little different. And then on this round, we just have a generic looking India poll here. I think is the only poll that we usually have to look at. Is this, because like something like this isn't going to be helpful where it's just no poll top at all. I do see that we're growing rice here, which is quite common as you go further north. So like northern states very close to the Himalayas like Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal are going to have a lot of rice production. Similar to stuff that you get in Bangladesh, there's a lot of rice production in Bangladesh as well. So I think I would probably lean some states up here with the generic pull top. And the flatness, we do have like these mud houses or mud brick houses that are just very dark. I probably lean more Uttar Pradesh. I mean, like, it's hard to say. I think the best hedge is probably Uttar Pradesh. And if you want to hedge it all, you just go Lucknow. And I don't think So like I'm leaning away from Punjab here because hedging for Punjab probably unwise when we can't tell if there's a window on the top here. And if we ever get a window round on Punjab, I'll tell you what I mean by the window. But um, basically, there's the wire on the top insulator here. Underneath the top insulator is going to make like a window shape where it's segmented into four like square parts um, with the metal underneath. Yeah, I mean, you probably just have to hedge luck now here. I don't really have a better choice. And yeah, it ends up being flat stuff near Madhya Pradesh. We didn't have a Madhya Pradesh pole. Um, so I don't really know how to get this otherwise. I guess maybe with the prevalence of boxcar in Uttar Pradesh, maybe that's a bit more common. But yeah, we don't have an A-frame pole, it looks like. We do here. I mean, we couldn't see that though on this one. We could maybe. Huh. Could we see that? I can't really tell from the back here, but I guess as you get closer to it, because it's on the other side, I guess it's hard to see. But yeah, so this is a Madhya Pradesh pole in which it makes like an upside down A, like a capital A in English, um, or Latin script rather, where it has like a little crossbar there. That would be a Madhya Pradesh pole. So yeah, I mean it's hard to see from where I am, unfortunately, and I can't really see that one either. So a bit hard to commit there, but yeah, I mean it's not just about making the right guess in the moment. It's about learning from why that guess is correct or incorrect. Okay, we have so these markers are very common in Peru. We obviously have the stripy pole here, which is going to tell us Peru. But we do have this marker here. And you should always look at these kilometer markers because sometimes they might have the road number on it. This one's the PE 308 or 305 or 306. One of those. Those will obviously not always show up, but it's always helpful because sometimes you'll get a road number that says like 3S or 3N. I mean, like, it's obviously not as helpful, but it can help you formulate a region guess a bit more. I mean, P306, I don't know if we're finding this. If you look at the landscape here, it's like flatter rolling hills, I guess. Looks like we're somewhat high altitude, which is kind of similar to stuff that you get in Bolivia. And it kind of creeps over into this area near Titicaca here. Whereas most of the Peru stuff, like east of the coastal cities, are going to be very high altitude, very up in the mountains. You're going to get a lot of valleys like you'll see in here. This is a bit more like, oh, we're up in the northern plateau parts, and we get these slight rolling hills, treeless, completely treeless, no vegetation. We just get this like little bushes and stuff. So I want to say it's probably the best to just click somewhere around here. I don't think we're finding this road personally, as well, because a lot of them just aren't labeled correctly and all of that. So I think something around here, like north of Arequipa, could work. We're kind of over the mountain range, but like still pretty high up in altitude, near Lake Titicaca. So yeah, let's just leave it here, and hopefully we haven't made a big mistake. And yeah, there are some stuff a bit more northwest here, kind of creeping into the very high altitude stuff and Andahuelas and all that stuff here. So that works. I mean, it says 30B here. Did it say 30B? Is that really what it said? Okay. Um, I don't know why I assumed it was a 3-digit number. So it was very helpful there to use the road marker, and I'm sure some of you got that, to be honest, because my brain just didn't think it could have been a B. But that makes so much sense. And if you look at the topography, it makes sense. We're surrounded by mountains, kind of in this high plateau thing. Kind of mad at myself for that. Okay. Looks like we do have a B-type antenna here. I'd say short antenna. We are in Oruski here. I can't read that. It says Stash. I mean, this last word is like Piti or something. Put Puti? I don't know. Anyway, we're in Russia here. We have short antenna, and the B-type distribution is interesting, but it does have some clusters to it. This one's looking like. Hmm. My first thought was like this white road here because this should be B type, I do believe. This road going to Abakan on the white road, but I'm not completely sure here. But it does remind me of this landscape. Knowing where B type clusters are is definitely quite useful. You do get a decent amount near Yeka here, Tumen, and then a lot of stuff around Nizhny Novgorod, Kazan, etc., etc. Um, I mean, it's just about kind of knowing the landscape and understanding where it could be, but like, I'm not even completely certain that we're even where I'm guessed right now. But we'll try it. This was my first initial vibe, and it's actually the Barnaul Road, which does make a lot of sense as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, we kind of got that vibe ish. You get a lot of V type as well in this Altai Cry part here. This is Altai Cry, right? Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, a lot of flat stuff here, and then the roads to Barnaul and all of that. It's just a lot of learning in Russia, which takes a while. But you know, my guess wouldn't have been too far off there, so I can live with it. Okay, we are in Indonesia next. Which concrete pole there. I don't think we have any pole tops, but we do have a good amount of tiled roofs here surrounding us, especially this stuff. So I am just probably thinking Java here, even though we do have a mixture of metal roofs and such. I think when you have like a decent percentage of tiled roofs like this, I think Java is probably the best click on this one, although it's very hard to say because we don't really have too much. And maybe you know the rainy coverage is probably something you could know, but I don't think there's much to talk about on this one without pole tops and stuff. And usually when I see couple tiled roofs like this, probably just lean Java. And yeah, I'm just gonna click East Java here. Does end up being just Jakarta downtown. Sure, fair enough. We do complete our first seed though. It was a bit of a struggle, but that's why it's called less extreme region guessing because you know you do have capabilities for good points as long as you get the country, but it is a bit hard to region guess still. Okay, we're back in Peru here. We have Luna Verde, which means green moon. But I don't know if we have much else. Um, we don't have a road number on this one this time. I'm sure I'm not missing anything here. Um, we have mountains to our east, and it looks like we're in kind of a like east-west valley. So I'm thinking like one of the valleys like north of Lima here. Um, there isn't too many stuff south that it could be. There are some stuff, but this definitely feels a bit more northern, a bit more trees and such. Especially what is this like? I don't know what they're growing here, but definitely feels like one of the valleys north. Chimbote, Trujillo, Chiclayo, stuff like that. I think with the mountains here, that's a pretty big mountain behind as well. So I'm trying to find something that might make sense. Um, um, I don't know. I guess any one of these can really work. I think I'm just gonna click this one. Like, well, it looks like the most of the valleys to our north, right? Because well, there's a bit more stuff here south of us. Hmm. But like the yellow road is going up against the mountain here. Probably another good thing to look at is which side of the valley like the road is on. I mean, there's stuff here that could work maybe, but does it really? I mean, I don't think it really works with how close we are. Um, like we're right up next to the mountain on this one. I don't know. I think just leaving it in the Trujillo Valley probably works best now because I assume this is a yellow road by how much traffic is on it and how like pretty well maintained it looks. So we kind of just have to assume that the yellow road is correct, and it is this. And you can kind of see a hill here. A bit hard to get though. We were a bit closer with the San Jacinto one, but we're one valley south of it, unfortunately. But we do get a decent plonk down, I'd say. Okay, this one, 2025. I'm not even sure what country we're in, really. I'm not sure what to do here. We might actually get the country wrong even. Um, looks maybe like black car. So do you lean Colombia then? I mean, my first thought here was Mexico, I think. With this pavement? I mean, maybe that looks quite Colombian. I think with the black car here, I have to lean Colombia, but I mean, sun is like pretty much right above us, which isn't too helpful on this location, I'd say. Man. Well, my 50-50 is like this area, like west of Mexico City, but I don't know how much black car you get there, so I guess I'm just clicking Colombia, and I don't know how you're supposed to region guess this one really, because we can't see anything. So yeah, we're just gonna have to try our best here. I'll probably just click Ibague if I'm going Colombia here. Although I still like Mexico a bit more, but I think logically I have to go off what the car says. And yeah, it's in Antioquia, right over the border there. I mean, that's just I don't know. I don't know how to region guess that really. Okay, we're in the United States now. Um, with some interesting bollards. Oh, we have a massive. Oh, that's Aura, that mountain. Um, Bollard looks like a Washington, Oregon one, which I guess I could see. Maybe with all this open farmland, we're just in like eastern Washington, Oregon. And like, I should be able to find this theoretically if it's here, but I mean, that is a massive mountain there. Huh. I'm a bit confused as to what we're looking at, because like, I just feel like I would be able to find this. I mean, we could be looking at this maybe? And we're like, but hmm. Is there a lot of water there? I would say probably not. Do I just not know the Bullard? Bro, honestly, it's looking kind of like it's not here. So are we like, what even makes sense? What even makes sense? Maybe I'm scrapping the Washington, Oregon idea overall? Like, I don't even know what would work with the mountain here, which is quite weird. Um, hmm. Not really seeing too many things that work, if I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, my first thought was Montana, but then I kind of like just looked at the bollard. Like, this looks like, I don't know, something from Arrival. Where they park the big egg thing. Um, which is topical because I'm watching Arrival tonight. Um, but yeah, it's a pretty consistent ridge, which is man, like this is kind of tough. I just don't know what works really. With the mountain, I mean, does Casper work? But I don't think this works with the angle of the road. Cascades maybe. Um, the angle is also a bit weird, man. Like, how does anything here work? Like, we're going into like mountains there, right? Um, which like theoretically we should see a yellow road going into massive, not massive, but like definitely we would be able to see the hills on the map, if you know what I mean. And like I'm not thinking it's here or like hmm. I mean, I'm really taking my time with this one, but I don't know. I'm a bit confused as to what we're looking at, really. I didn't really see anything that worked. I mean, Idaho maybe, but I don't see anywhere where we go into mountains like this. I think I'm gonna have to make a guess soon because like I am a bit lost here. I'm being completely honest. Um, this is what I mean about learning topography, man. It's very important, but I just I I just want to make a good guess, but I just don't know what would even be a good guess here because I don't see anything that even works. At least from, I mean, I'm just looking at the wrong stuff, probably. I don't know. Like, we're in a massive valley with a huge mountain. I'm just trying this, like, I don't know. It's here. I mean, this is exactly what I'm looking for, but I just didn't know this valley existed, I guess. And where's the ridge? It's just like this stuff here? Man, hard to tell, but I mean, not the best region guess for me overall. Utah Ballers makes sense, but yeah, a bit hard. Okay, well, we have very overexposed stuff. Looks like we have. Is that Indy again? I think it is. I mean, this is the most overexposed camera I've ever seen in my life. But that looks like like the complicated metal like tops remind me of West Bengal, and maybe that could be Bengali. Yeah, I mean, this looks like Bengali. Like this shape here looks like something I'd seen in Bengali, and we do have a lot of metal shacks with tiled roofs, which I think fit a lot more for West Bengal. So just going off of the language here and this intricate, like, tons of metal bars on this pole, although it is a bit hard to see because it's overexposed, but I think this should work. So yeah, we'll just leave it somewhere in West Bengal here. And hope for the best. Yeah, it is a bit more east. Moving to round 5 here in... what's this? Again? Is it India small cam? I guess so. Okay. Well, do we have anything to guess off of here? Because, I mean, I can't even tell if that pole is indented or not. If I'm being completely honest. I mean, this one doesn't look indented. We don't have any language clues. I don't know how to guess this. I mean, architecture maybe looks more north, allegedly. I'm trying to see if I can see any palm trees or anything, but I don't really. And, I mean, can't really see pole tops. We got that, but I have no idea what that monstrosity is. That one's fallen over. I mean, this is just kind of an unguessable location for me, in a way. Like, I lean more east because it's not that dry. We have a railroad here. I honestly have no idea where to guess here. I guess I lean more north because we don't have as many palms. Like, am I just actually just going like this area again? Like West Bengal, Bihar stuff? This house doesn't look very West Bengal to me, but we do have like a pretty big haystack there. Yeah, it could just be Uttar Pradesh. Like and this looks like a rice field here, maybe. Um, I don't know. How much small cam do you get in this area? Like, I know there's a decent amount of small cam released south, but I don't know. This could be like the worst region guess of all time, but we're gonna try our best here. Um, and it's just label. So, sure, I guess. Once again, this map is very hard to explain your guesses, especially like, I mean, I'm trying my best here, guys. But, like, I mean, Mario makes sense. Sure. Can we see this pole? I mean, you can say that's an A-frame pole, but, like, there's no way you can see it from here. I mean, I can't even see anything, but it's fallen off. This one... Okay. Yeah, I can't even click back on the road. I mean, this one here is, like, also theoretically an A-frame pole, but you can't see it? Maybe. I don't know how to guess this, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Sometimes you just can't guess stuff, but we do get over 20k, so you gotta live with that. All right, let's go for map 3 here. I feel like this is not gonna be the most learning. This is why I kind of avoided doing region guessing maps, because I feel like some of the, although it's meant to be a less extreme region guessing map, I do feel like there are just some locations that are just like uncookable, like not super uncookable, but just uncookable in general. Okay, I mean, this one shouldn't be too bad. We do have a good amount of coconut palms, decent amount of oil palm stuff as well, like here. So automatically you have to default towards peninsula, I'd say, on islands. I really wish we had anything besides these kind of insulators, like the mushroom top insulators. We had the ones with like where you could count the amount of ridges, because I feel like if we had those, it would be 7 or 8 here, and that would be a good indication that we're on peninsula, because 7 or 8 ridges on like those long insulators, you're gonna get Surat Thani and South, and then also in Chiang Mai, I think, or Chiang Rai. I forget which one. I always forget, but I think it's Chiang Mai. Um, and yeah, we do have coconut palms here, kind of sandy-ish as well. So I mean, honestly, I think I'd be overcooking if I didn't go somewhere on the peninsula part. So let's do it. And yeah, we are pretty close there. I mean, that one's pretty solvable, I think, but I think most people would have got that. Um, okay, we are in Brazil here. We have what looks like a parapole with this insulator to one side, and no pull top, which I have seen a decent amount in Para. I mean, there's another one here, another one here. Um, hmm. I th- I guess you trust it, probably, because this landscape looks kind of uncookable. So I think you have to trust the pole here. And it does look quite Amazonian, like there's some deforestation going on. So I think Para is quite reasonable, and you have to know where in Para like has coverage. Like you get some coverage here, and then along this road pretty much Santarem. And that's pretty much it. Like nothing in this middle portion, obviously, as you guys can see, hardly any roads up in there. There's coverage on this road going to Sao Felix de Zingu, but yeah, I think that's Gen 4, this road. So yeah, I'm probably just going to click some around Maraba stuff, and hope that the Parapole is not lying to me with the single insulator on one side. And it's good. And there's this white road, which is fair enough. We do get... Oh, that sucks. Panorama died on that one. Well, that's I guess we're only doing 24 locations in this episode, but I don't think those are places. So yeah, we got Kenya here. Kenya's pretty uncookable for me. Um we're high altitude ish. Got these pines. Looks like we're looking down into a massive valley to the east, with a ridge across the way. So I guess it's probably scannable here. And we're just like maybe something up in here, and we're looking at this valley here, like the Eldoret Valley with the ridge there, maybe is possible. But like, I mean, there's a lot of things that probably work. Like topography in Kenya is a little bit tough to decipher, especially with the new map. And I think I'm just gonna leave it here. It could be something on Mount Kenya, and we're looking down here, and we're looking at this ridge here or something like that. I mean, that's possible as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really see any indication as to not go here, so we'll just try it. And oh, we're inside this thing again. How? We're looking at this ridge, and we're looking at this big valley. I mean that. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say yeah. I mean that makes a lot of sense. Pretty big valley, as I said, and then mountain on the other side, so probably quite findable. Okay, we are in Peru once again, and this one I'd have to say is probably looking quite north. We have some coconut palms, which I feel like would be very, very rare further south. Um, we have a massive ridge there to the northeast. And do we have anything else? I mean, I don't think we have a place name here. I think there are research to be done on like the political party stickers. I've seen this one north anyway, but that doesn't really help. I mean, with the coconut palms here, I can't go anything besides north, I think. Because I feel like you would never get coconut palms like Lima and South. So I think something up here works with the topography, but as for where, we're probably on the main road here. I'd have to say, and we're going through a town. So something like the one end would work, but we're surrounded by mountains on both sides. So I'm thinking something along this area, because you really have to pick a place, and I mean, this road looks straight as heck, right? Like we're going straight through this village. So you kind of have to pick a place that works where we're like in the middle of the valley in a way, but like these windy, super windy roads where you just get a bunch of bends and stuff. Probably going through the mountains just doesn't work. I guess Bella Vista could work. Like this angle looks okay, but I don't know how good it's looking. I mean, we can see what it's doing to the east, and it's bending upwards, which doesn't really work for here. I think angle's slightly off on where I am anyway. I mean, this looks better, I think, with it bending upwards there, although maybe the curve is a bit... I don't really think that works either. Okay, it's all about trying to find something that works here. This angle's off. I think I'm leaving it there for now. But I'm trying to find something else that really works here. Because we have massive mountains on both sides of us, so we know we're in, like, a valley, like, something up here, right? Like, something down here doesn't work because you get a lot of flatness to the west, and we see a ton of mountains there, so... I think something around here works, but I just can't find the 5K for the life of me. Like, this doesn't work either. I don't think that particularly lines up. That we're going through the city, so... I don't know. What's it looking northeast? Like, we have a pretty big mountain there, which could be this. I mean, this looks okay. We can't really see what's going on to the west, but... Yeah, I'm just gonna assume we're... I mean, maybe it's doing some curving there. It's hard to tell. It would probably be somewhere here, if anything. But, yeah, it's very hard to tell what's happening here. Yeah, we're trying this. Okay, it's... I did look at this, but... Hmm. Hmm. Well, at least we got the valley, but... Yeah, I guess we're just two in the mountains here. I don't know. I mean, we get the valley at least. I'll take it. Um, let's get another one in there. It's all about lining up stuff and learning topography. I wish I would have 5K'd that, but it's a bit tough. Okay, we move into this round here. In the US, we do have a diamond bollard, I think. So that would indicate like South Dakota, Montana, stuff like that. Especially with this landscape, I'm probably thinking Dakotas could work. I mean, Nebraska maybe as well. Um, yeah, I think with these rolling hills and stuff, I think one of the plain states here could work, or Montana, so I'm just gonna put it here. It was just Montana going up to the border here. Good luck finding this road, but yeah, Montana was one of the options. Okay, we do get New Zealand here with some frost coverage, it looks like. Which I think should be... Oh, it's not frost. It's just very amber waves of grain. We have anything pole-wise? I don't think we do. We have a small track going underneath with the railroad there, which is probably findable, but I would say if fences are to be trusted with the bigger gaps in there, it should be South Islands. And as for where, this area around Christchurch, very flat, so I'm leaning like more Otago and Southland stuff. And I think something in Otago probably works the best. It's quite flat to the north, but we do have some random hills popping up, and we do have a decently sized ridge to our east. I'm trying to think of something that would work even in Otago. Something like this maybe works best, and we're just... Does this fit? I think it looks okay. Like, we're crossing the bridge here. We have a road there. I think this is the 5K. Yeah, I'm happy about this. I mean, it should be the 5K. I don't want to speak too early, but... Yeah, with the rolling hills here, I think it just fits, and it is the 5K. So, we do get a 5K out of it at least. I'll take it. Okay. We do have Arge here. This is a very good one. 2022. We have striped car here. We can see the blue stripe in the middle, white stripes on the outer sides. And with the road angle here going completely north-south, you see something like that. Always good to click this southwestern Chaco area. The car plus the northwest grid angle, north-south, east-west grid angle. You see a lot of north-south, east-west grid angles in here. And they did not recover it with new stuff. So you will get a lot of coverage in here, Gen 4, with this striped car. So that's probably the tip of the day from this video. I'm glad it came up because it's definitely very useful and you can get a very good plunk. I think it's mostly known by now, but I think, especially in the like higher elo ranges, but I think mid champion to low champion, I think a lot of people won't know this. So yeah, should be here. And it is just in this area in southwestern Chaco here. I guess South Chaco. I don't know. Depends how you define this province. But yeah, you'll just see a lot of north-south grid angles here that work. So that's a good tip. Okay, we have black car here. Ooh. Brother, ooh. Bro, I don't know what to do with this one. I'm going to be completely honest. I might send on the moon. I really struggle with these, but it does remind me of the main road here, I think. Should be black car, long antenna. And there's not a lot of Gen 4 in this area, at least, that goes up to Murmansk. What oblast is this again? It's Karelia Oblast. So not as much Gen 4 here. I think I'm just going to send on this road. And yeah, it's a bit further up that road, but you have the right idea. So for some reason, Gen 4 restarts kind of like when you get in this Murmansk area, but there's not a lot of Gen 4 here, especially. I think there's Gen 4 in this town or something, if I recall correctly, but the main road should still be Gen 3 for most of it. So maybe the Gen 4 goes up to here, and then Gen 3 starts, and then it goes up to Gen 4 as you get into Murmansk Oblast. So, yeah, definitely something to know. Okay. And I got that one just because it kind of looked like Finland in a way, like with the trees around this. Oh, okay, we got Japan here. Do we have anything to tell us? I don't know the format of pool plates, unfortunately. Hmm. Okay. Okay. We might have the toilet paper roll thing, but very hard to say. I mean, with vertical plates here, you are supposed to either go here or anything south, because this area around Nagoya is going to have one rounded plate, one regular rectangular plate, and then this one's going to have a horizontal plate. And then obviously this is in Hokkaido, and you can probably figure that out, but the Hokkaido top plate will also be a bit longer than the bottom one, so yeah. With that being said, I didn't really think Tokyo, so I'm probably just going to click Okayama here. I am not as qualified on Japan poll stuff as I should be. And it's Shikoku. Okay, fair enough. So, like, usually, don't quote me on this, Jalotris told me, but basically this attachment, where it's like a triangle attachment on the bottom crossbar here, is both common in Shikoku and Shikoku. So, yeah. Okay, well, we got one more very long video so far, but hope you guys are learning a lot. I'm trying to teach a lot, but, you know, as I said, not the best. Okay, we'll try our best here. We got River Street on this one. And we look like we have Trident Pole, which is interesting. I'm not too sure what to do with this one in Canada. It is Gen 2, of course. I mean, we know we're not in Quebec because we have English. And yeah, I probably lean most Manny here with this early autumn coverage and Gen 2. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. It is just Manny, but all the way up here near Fork River, probably findable, but it's a bit tough to find. All right, we're in the U.S. here, mile 6 north. I mean, Canada obviously doesn't use the mile; they use kilometers, so we should be in the U.S. here. Flat landscape, extremely flat, very open fields. We have little vegetation, and it feels a lot like Canada. Because I would have went Canada aside from this street name. So I think with the complete flatness, I think something like Minnesota up here works the best. Um, Although I can see Dakotas as well. But yeah, I think Minnesota works. Okay, like why does it say mile on there? Like why does it say mile on there? I mean, I would have went Manny without the mile. I mean, at least my region guess was good. Like, at least my region guess was good. Otherwise, like, we're pretty close there. We're close. Okay, we're skipping panoramas again. All right, well, that's tough. India is 0 for 2. Okay, well, we do have Zacatecas on there, which is which province again? This one, yeah. And then we have Colonial Encintos as the place, I would believe. Um, which makes sense. We do have a lot of prickly pear cactus, which is quite common in Zacatecas, Aguas, San Luis Potosi, especially. Um, we have a massive ridge to our west of this city, in which we have Colonial Encintos. So we'll give it a little scan here. Give it a little scan. Where would you get a ridge like this, guys? It's very hard to see. I mean, this ridge looks decent, but it looks like a bigger ridge even. Did we have Moreros on there? It says Mesa Morenos, but I don't know if that's anything. Um, Colonial Encintos. Encintos. Colonial Encintos. There's a lot of... I do forget that Zacatecas sometimes goes into here, which is... Yeah, maybe a bit more what I'm looking for. In terms of the ridges. But it looks like a singular ridge, and then everything to our east is flat. So... Huh. I don't really see what works. If I'm being completely honest with you. Hey, this should be an easy find, I think. I just don't see it. Unless I've somehow accidentally clicked on the 5K, but I don't think that's true. Um, yeah, Ridge South, I guess, which might be findable. I was looking around here because we do have a ridge here, but huh, I don't see this place. Like, where's the ridge? Oh, there it is. Wow, that took a while. I would not. Hmm. I just didn't expect this ridge to be here because I feel like most of this part is flat. But I guess this ridge does exist. Okay, we're curving to the south here, so we must be down here on this one. Because it's curving that way and then curving back, which makes sense. And then, well, I don't know how much I trust this mapping. Yeah, you gotta trust it, right? You gotta trust it. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Good enough. Okay, we have exposed front car. I'm not really sure what that means in this country. In the United States of America. I mean, I have heard people say it is allegedly a New Mexico thing. with this mega exposed front. But maybe the car was a different color. But I think I will just try somewhere in New Mexico here, and we're looking at this stuff maybe with the peaks are like pretty northwest of us. Are we surrounded by? We're surrounded by smaller mountains. So I mean, something in here could work, I guess, but it is a two-lane highway, isn't it? It is. That's no bueno. Okay. Then what does that mean? Kind of on the curve here. I don't really see what works there. It is an eastern New Mexico thing, but how much do I trust that? On this location, this looks maybe further north to me even. But yeah, we'll try it. Okay, it's all the way up here. I probably could have scanned for this, and we're looking at these mountains here. And Colorado stuff, but yeah, good luck finding this road. But I mean, could have played better, I guess. I can't believe I didn't 5K this. But it happens at the end of the day. That's going to be the video. I don't know if I'll do this again because I feel like I'm more helpful on understanding how to guess in country, like getting countries correct rather than region guessing in countries because I don't know as many car and copyright metas as you probably need to know. Landscape-wise, I'm okay, but I think otherwise it is a bit tough. Well, anyways, let me know if you guys enjoyed this format of video. Hopefully you guys did. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, of course, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another GeoGuessr video. Peace.